Hello students, today we are going to discuss about nephron, third year, 5th semester. The nephron structure and function of the nephron, today we are going to discuss. So, what is the nephron, where it is present, what is the role of the in the kidney of nephron. The nephron is a unit of the kidney, the structurally, basic structurally word of nephron is derived from the Greek word, the meaning of the kidney. The nephron is the minute structure and microscopical structure and functional unit of the kidney. The composition is the renal corpusculus and retinal tubules. The renal corpusculus consists of the tuft of the capillary called as a glomerular and cup shaped structure called as a Bowman's capsule. This is the structure of the two parts is there in the nephron. So, the renal tubules extended from the capsule. The nephron is used for 4 mechanisms in the converted of the blood into the urine: filtration, reabsorption, secretion and excretion. These are main role of the nephron. These apply to the numerous substances. So, this is the structure of the kidney. From kidney having so millions of the nephrons is present. So, the glomerulus are convoluted tubules of the nephron are located in the cortex of the kidney. The while collecting the duct are located in the pyramids of the kidney medulla. So, we are going to kidney dividing cortex region and medulla region. The medulla cortex region having there is nephrons is there and medulla region U shape tubes is there. So, this is the structure of the neuron. In the structure neuron we have to go highlighted in the slide. The structure is mainly Bowman's capsule and afferent arterial and efferent arterial and proximal convoluted tubes and peritubular capillaries and distal convoluted tubes and collector ducts. This is the nephron having millions of nephrons present in the kidney we discussed now. So, the nephrons is connected with the collecting duct. 2 nephrons is between the collecting duct is there. So, this is the duct region collecting. The left side nephron is structure this one and right side same thing nephron also present and U shaped structure of the nephron called having divided into loop of Henle and vasa recta. So, now we discuss this is the overall structure of the connected with the nephron called to the loop of Henle. The main function is reabsorption of water and sodium chloride from the filtrate. This conversion water for organisms producing highly concentrated urine. So, first the blood, from blood there is so many metabolisms is present, carbohydrate, amino acids, nucleic acid metabolisms is there. There during the metabolisms there is waste products is there, that waste products is going to eliminated by our nephrons and concentration of the urine also main role in the nephron structure. So, this is the main vein of the blood, the direction of the blood flowing, this is the vein of the blood. So, this is the efferent arterial entering of the blood from this is the nephron region of the Bowman's capsule and arterial efferent arterial region, this is going to blood circulation in the nephron. So, distal tubules is also going to main role and peritubular capillaries also going to main role and proximal tubes also going to exchange of the waste materials and some substances of the metabolite contents. Now, we are going to see a formation of the urine, how it is going to formation of the urine. This is the blood sample, blood flowing of the vein, this is the blood flowing. So, the efferent arterial is the big size of the wall vein and this is the a small size of veins is there inside of the glomerulus capillaries, and the efferent arterial also is going to outside big size there. This is the peritubular capillaries. In this we discuss now the four properties there of the nephron, that is called first is the filtration and reabsorption and secretion and extraction. The filtration mean the metabolite components going to filtrate concentrated of the substances, and reabsorption whatever the our sodium, potassium, chlorine, water molecules is there, that is going to reabsorption, and secretion whatever the waste products coming from blood vein that is going to secretion, and extraction whatever the requirement of the contents is going to extraction and concentrated to the urine. Now, this is the overall kidney reabsorption of and secretion mechanism. You see in this there is so many we discuss parts of the afferent arterial and efferent arterial and glomerular filtration region and proximal convoluted tubes and distal convoluted tubes is there. So, in this we are going to the blood vein is efferent arterial region is going to enter the blood, the glomerular region is circulated and reabsorption the glomerular molecule and outcome of the efferent arterial region of the blood. So, in this glomerular region what happen, whatever the toxin molecules is there, whatever the substances is there, they are going to concentrated and observe the and transport into the at U shaped tube, that is called as a loop Henle region. In this proximal convoluted tubes is there potassium, water, bicarbonates, chlorine, sodium chlorides and nutrients, they are going to outside of the secretion. So, whatever the components will come enter to the region of the glomerular region, that is called hydrogens and amine groups, ammonia containing molecules enter to the proximal convoluted tubes. So, they are circulated in the region of the proximal tubes, then they are going to this is the medulla, this region is called as a cortex region, and this is called as a outer medulla region. This is called a U shaped structure of the nephron region. This is whatever the water content is there, the from proximal tubes they are going to outcome of the water. So, when the water is coming outside, what happened, the substance is going to concentrated. Then this is the very this region is called as a descending lips of the loop of Henle region. This is a very small region is there than this tube, this proximal tubules. Then the water is coming outside, the substance is going to concentrated, then circulated, and along with the sodium chloride also will come outside. This is the thin segment of the ascending lips. So, there is the U shaped structure in medulla region, there is ascending region is there and descending region is there. So, in the descending region water molecule is going to outside, and ascending region the sodium chloride is going to outside. So, this whatever substances is there, bicarbonate, sodium chlorides, they are also going to distal tubules, convoluted tubules. Then in this region is going to enter some of potassium, hydrogen also going to absorb the nephron layer. Now, it will come into the collecting duct region. So, the same way the another this region, this location attached to the another neuron, this is the attached to the another nephron structure, and then it will come outside of the water or urine sample concentrated. So, the filtration mainly filtration contains at water molecule and salts like sodium chloride and bicarbonates, hydrogens, urea, glucose and amino acids and some substances, drugs also, toxin molecules, and reabsorption of the and secretion, the active transportation system and passive transportation system. When we coming to the this is region we are going to highlight it. What happened in this region? This is region having this proximal convoluted tubes is made up of epithelial cells. In the epithelial cells, low sodium chloride content is there. So, low sodium chloride containing is there, the epithelial is having a sodium potassium pumps is there. That is our active transportation of the or micronutrient micromolecules. So, what happened? The low concentration of the sodium is there, the sodium and potassium pumps is going to open. So, what happened? The reason of the transportation of the our water and glucose and amino acids and bicarbonates or chlorine molecules, they are going to enter through the blood vein. So, reabsorb the blood vein of the content. So, in this mainly there is two types of the osmotic pressures is there, osmotic pressures is there in the cortex region and medulla region. The cortex region osmotic pressure is measuring by milli osmotic per liter, we are going to calculate it. In the human beings, in male having 150 liters per day, filtration, 180 liters per women's, then the total 1% of the urine is going to concentration, 99% of the substance is going to reabsorption of the our nephron. So, what is the nephron function is there? The each of your kidney is made up of about a million filtering units called as a nephron. So, mean the millions of the nephrons present in the kidney. The each nephron include the a filtrate property called as a, it is a made up of two parts, that is the glomerulus and tubules. The nephron work through a two steps process, glomerular filter your blood and the tubules return needed substance to your blood and remove of the wastage. The wastage, what are the wastages is there? It's our secondary metabolites components, a toxin molecule going to reabsorption or remove of the blood sample. The what are the four parts of the nephron? We discussed already in the glomerulus Bowman's capsule and proximal convoluted tubes, loop of Henle and distal convoluted tubes and collecting the duct and ultrafiltration taking place in the glomerulus. The glomerular filters collecting the Bowman capsule. The each nephron is mammalian kidney is a long tubes there, extremely the fine tube about 30 to 55 millimeters mm is there, that is going to 1.2 to 2.22 inches long. At one end this tube is closed, expanded and folded into the double walled coupling structure. The what are 80% of nephron called? 80% of nephrons in the human kidney are located in the cortex and are collected the cortical nephrons. These nephrons having a short nephron loops is there. What is the structure and function of the nephron class of 10 brainly? The nephron is the filter unit of the kidney. It is consist of the tubules which is the collecting duct at one end to cup shaped structure that the other end. This filter contains glucose, amino acids, urea, uric acid, salts and other major component of the amount of the water. What are the two basic kinds of the nephrons? The cortical nephrons are the juxtamedullary nephrons. These distinction how to do with the location of the glomerulus, the tiny balls of the capillary network and the penetration into the medulla by the loop of nephron tubules. Is a nephron a cell? The nephron, because it is a collecting of the cell with the functionally characterized, probably best characterized as a tissue. However, I might even go so far as to say that it is an organ. This is because there are many differentiated cells types within the nephron, and because it has complex organization. You see, this is the exactly position of the in the kidney nephron. This is the two types of nephrons is there. This is the cortical nephrons and juxtamedullary nephrons. This is the Bowman's capsules, and here also Bowman's capsule is there. Glomerulus is there. Distal convoluted tubes is there. This is the collecting duct. The two nephrons between the junction point is called as the collecting tube. This is the thin layer of the thin ascending loop of Henle. This region is going to sodium chloride molecule is going to eliminated, and descending loop is of the Henle. It is going to removal of the water contents. This is the thick ascending lip of the loop Henle. This is the region. Same kind of, this is the another nephron is there, the outer medullary inner strip and outer strip region. This is the inner medulla point. This region up to this region is called as the cortex region. This is called as a medullary region. Then the cortex region, osmotic pressure we discuss now. The osmotic pressure in the cortex region 300 milli osmotic pressure is there. In the medullary region 400 milli osmotic pressure is there. So, what hormones are in the nephron? The nephron target the sites of the hormones whose intracellular secondary messengers known have been located in the measuring their stimularity affected on cyclic AMP and GMP production along with nephron. These hormones including the arginine, vasopressin and parathyroid hormone and calcitonin and beta adrenergic catecholaminergic molecule. These are hormones present in the nephron. The nephron work through the two steps process. This is already we discussed the basic information of the nephron. The glomerular filter your blood and tubules return needed to substance to your blood and remove the waste, and each nephron has glomerule to the filter your blood and tubules that return needed the substances to your blood and pulls out addition of the wastages. The nephron function unit of the kidney we discussed, and this is the basic information about the nephron and the exactly structure of the producing urine molecule, urine concentrated in the nephron, and removal of the waste content and excess of substance also from the blood it is going to remove. And there are millions of the nephrons in the each human kidney. Nephron is basically unit of the kidney. It is a structurally dividing two parts in the kidney. Nephron is number of millions of the nephrons present in the kidney. So, the nephron having two parts is there, the tubular part, cortical nephrons region. The nephron is mainly Bowman's capsule is the main role playing in the nephron. In the Bowman's capsule is the absorb the substances from blood vena. So, blood it is having circulated the so many substances secondary metabolites during the biosynthesis of metabolism components like our biomolecules mechanisms. So, from their secondary metabolite conversion there is waste molecules going to produced. So, that waste molecules going to removing our nephron main role. In that the blood vein is connected with the Bowman's capsule. That region the blood venous is very less size of the nephrons is there, blood vessels is there. So, in that the Bowman's capsules and glomerular capsules is going to playing main role. So, this region is going to hydrogens, bicarbonates and amino acids and glucose molecules is going to reabsorb the content. In this region mainly our substances, whatever the unwanted substances is there in our body, the kidney is going to remove that. From that our blood vessels is going to absorb. When the reabsorption of the from blood and nephron region, then again another part is medulla region. Now, in the medulla region there is two parts is there, thick ascending lips of the loop Henle region and descending lips of the loop of Henle and thin ascending lips of the lip of the Henle. So, in this the two nephrons connected region is called collecting duct or collecting tubules. So, in this what happened, the thick ascending loops of the Henle region, the sodium chloride molecules going to eliminated. So, our from whatever the from blood samples observe the glomerular capsules, in that we concentrated the remove of the sodium chloride. When coming to the ascending lips of the loop of Henle, the removal of the water contents, water molecules. So, what happened, the substance is going to concentrated, the substance is going to concentrated, then they are going to enter to the thin ascending lips of the Henle. So, from that it will go circulated and collecting duct, then again it is going to circulate in the blood regions, or if any urine conversion, in 99% of the nephron mainly observation is there, observe the contents only. So, 1% of urine is going to removing. So, based on what mechanism is going to work out, in this osmotic pressure is there. The osmotic pressure is measuring by milliosmosis per minutes or liter based we are going to calculate it. So, in the region reabsorption of the substances, the proximal convoluted tubules is there na, in that region having more epithelial cells is there. In that how the molecule is going to low sodium potassium molecules is there. In that epithelial cells having the our ion channels is there, like active transportation, passive transportation mechanism is there. So, the epithelial cells is going to very low potassium. So, low potassium is there. So, suddenly our observed contents like chlorine molecule, water molecule, amino acid, glucose molecules, they are going to eliminated from region of the proximal convoluted tubes. So, whatever the components is going to outside from epithelial ion channels, so they are going to enter to the our blood vessels. Blood vessels mean again reabsorption content or reabsorption of the molecule. So, this is the content of the expression in distal convoluted tubules is mainly playing the role, and ascending lips and loop Henle and descending loop Henle is going to main crucial point at concentration of the substances. What is the role of the glomerular filtrations? Only they are going to collecting of the from blood substances, then transport into the proximal convoluted tubules and enter to the medulla, medulla to distal convoluted tubules, then enter to the collecting duct region. Then the total substance is going to concentrated, only 1% of urine is going to outside. So, whatever the remaining 99% of substance is going to reabsorb the tissues or blood vessels. So, this is the mechanism of the monitoring of the nephron. So, in the each kidney having so many millions of the nephrons is there.